I'm
Yeah.
glad to have you on the client interview call. So basically, anybody who's watching this is Jackie. She was my first ever, literally first ever paid student in the program. Prior to her joining, I was just helping friends and family off on the side for free, and then it got to the point where literally I'd help people out, and then they'd keep hitting me up for like ongoing support. So I was just like, dude, I need to start charging it. And
Hmm.
why don't you tell the people who are going to be watching this kind of like how we got connected and why you reached out to me in the first place.
Yeah, so I don't know, you'd always kind of see, or at least I would always see people talking a little bit about the Airbnb arbitrage business. And I just kind of saw it around because I was, a little bit interested in finding ways to make passive income and build a business and build something long term for myself. Um and so like I kind of knew about it a little bit just by seeing it, but you kind of just see it and you're like, that's not possible. Like that's not it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then yeah. So then I saw you and you were the first person that I knew who was doing it that I actually knew and like had connections with. So we had connections back in college a little bit. But
Mhm.
I know we didn't know each other super well, but we knew each other pretty well, kind of well. And so
Yeah.
when I saw you doing it, I reached out and you were immediately encouraging, like so encouraging and like willing to give. Like you weren't like the other guru people you see on Instagram. Like you were like you gave me so much information before we even talked about like having an actual like mentorship. And like
Yeah.
me actually paying you, like that was never even like brought up in the beginning. Like you were just helping me and giving me so much information about it without even like that prospect coming up. So I knew it was real because you were so genuine. And so
Thank
it
you.
was kind of spontaneous. I don't know, like I reached out to you and I didn't actually know I was gonna like do this. Like I didn't know how serious I was about it, but once we started talking, I got serious really fast. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, that
No, yeah, yeah, no, I love that like connection too, because literally because I was kind of like the same way, and that's kind of how I got into Airbnb first too. Was just like exactly like you said, you see other big people doing it online, and you're like, oh, that can't be me, and then you see somebody you actually have like a connection with, you're like, dude, I used to drink with Miguel in college. Like, if that retard could fucking do it, I could fucking do it. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
we're not like cut from different cloths. Like if somebody else could do it, I could do it too. And I'm glad I was able to kind of like inspire and motivate you to do that. And yeah, and like I'm always down to help people out. Like anytime people have questions, because I do remember like you were just kind of like inquiring, and I was like, oh, here are these resources. Like not once did we ever even talk about like payment or whatever. It was just kind of
Exactly.
until like, if you're serious about this, like it's gonna take some of my time, but like I'm down to invest it if you're investing with me. And quite honestly, it was funny since you were my first ever client. When I told you, I was like, yeah, I was trying to like think of a number that I thought would be too high for you to where you just say no, because I was like afraid. I was like, oh, if she says no, I don't have to do anything, and like whatever, it is what it is. And then you're like, oh yeah, 2,500, that's not much. And I was like, oh shit, like now I got to do that. Now
That's
I got
so
to fulfill
funny.
on it.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
so
that.
I'm glad that you were so fucking serious about it from the very beginning, because like uh now I'm doing the coaching like full time. Like I quit my other job where I was helping sell another coaching offer. So appreciate you being the first person to like really believe in me, and like you've seen it from like the group calls. Now we're like really building up this community and getting like a
Yeah.
lot of other real estate investors who share those same values. So that's awesome. As far as like kind of like Airbnb, I know when we were chatting originally, you were kind of just working like a job. Are you still working that job or?
I forget what job I was working when we first started talking, but oh, yeah. So I had two jobs. I was waitressing and working a remote job that I have now. So I still
Uh-huh.
work at the remote job part-time. And I was able to
Hmm.
quit serving from um Airbnb arbitrage. So now
Let's go.
yeah.
Hell
So
yeah.
I
Hell
down
yeah.
to yeah, I was able to quit that job from this. So that's really awesome. And I still work my remote job because it's only part-time. So it's like a good
Hmm.
gig for me to do part-time, but I am eventually working on moving towards doing this full-time. So That's the
Let's
goal.
go. Yeah, you got it. Like, how is that too? Because like, in all honesty, I know when you first started out, like, completely honest, like when we first applied for some cards, like they didn't go so well. Just because I know for you, like the funding was kind of that was just the next step to get into the major thing, which was like the Airbnb arbitrage. So we were just kind of like, all right, let's get the funding as soon as possible. Doesn't need to be completely optimized. I know we hit a couple of bumps in the road, but like we were able to kind of work around that and eventually get you that first deal, which was pretty fucking awesome. Like, kind of learning one, not just learning about the credit space, but also, you know, being able to kind of have your hand held through like the Airbnb process as well. For for anybody watching this, I don't offer the Airbnb coaching anymore. I was just like, fuck it, I want to over deliver to Jackie and teach her both things. So like you and Teresa are the only people I've ever done that with, and I'm never gonna do that again just because like
No way.
it
I
takes
didn't know
so
that.
much time for to be able to teach both. But like since you guys were the first people to believe in me, I was just like, dude, like I want to over deliver the fuck out of it. But like as far as kind of like the credit and like the Airbnb coaching, give us your thoughts. Like, how was that process? What was it easy for you? Was there anything hard for you in terms of that process, or?
Yeah, for the credit process, I thought I knew about credit. Like I thought it was okay. Like I didn't think I was gonna have problems with that. And yeah, I was like, I have a good credit score. Like I opened a credit card, like my mom and brother are really good with finances. And so like I opened a credit card as soon as I could, like from a young age, and I thought I had great credit and
Hmm.
I do. But like I still, like you said, we hit a few bumps in the road applying for the funding. And I was surprised by that. And it was discouraging at first, but then you were like, we're just going to keep trying. We're just going to keep trying. And when we got the first approval, it was amazing. And yeah, like it was difficult because I thought that it was going to be easy. And then you kind of taught me how to fix even the little things on my credits to make my credit score even better, and like the little things that I had no idea about that I didn't think mattered, but
Yeah.
apparently matter a lot because that made the whole difference. And now I've been able to increase like because I remember the first one it was like a 17,000, and then we got the another one for like a small like 2,000, and I've been able to increase those both a lot since then. It's been I think a year. So yeah,
Yeah, hell
so now I
yeah.
have yeah, been able to increase it a lot. So that was really like I would not have been able to do that myself. I would have had no idea where to start. If I was getting declined from all the funding, then I wouldn't have known where to go. So you knew all the tiny little details that I would never have known where to start getting that information from. So that was really helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think too, like just kind of like the hiccup kind of more so came from us just wanting to move fast on the Airbnb stuff. So we're like, all right, we don't need to be completely optimized. We
Yeah.
just need enough to get started because I knew you were so eager and like I was so happy for you too, just because in the Airbnb side of things too, like the hardest part is getting your first deal. And some people would just say no, and you really kind of like fought through it. Like I knew you were fucking serious because like anybody watching this, Airbnb arbitrage does take a lot of work up front. But once you get that first deal, it gets super easy from there. And we just kept hitting the pavement, hitting up more dials to finally get your first Airbnb in place, and then you're able to do the funding, get your first unit, and now you're a super host. And talk to the people about your second unit that you just got.
Yeah, so like you said, once you do all the hard work to get the first unit and then they just come, and that's what happened here. So you had a couple units in Bakersfield, and
Hmm.
you're of course moving into the coaching program now, so you're getting rid of your arbitrage and your units. And so you were able to pass one off to me, which is
Yeah.
such an amazing opportunity and such an easy, so easy. You just handed it over to me, passed it on to me, and I just taking over that unit. And so it's my second unit, and it's really exciting and such a good opportunity, and I'm really excited for it. I actually just signed the lease and sent over the money, and it's starting April
Let's
1st. So a
go.
couple days, I have all the furniture. I'm ready to move everything in. And yeah, and you also had so much of the big furniture that you gave over to me at so cheap. I
Yeah,
really appreciate that. Like
like I
having
said,
that big
yeah.
furniture in there.
Trust me, and
Crazy.
I got you like the TV with the stand and everything. Because dude, that shit took me hours of like fucking up drilling holes through the wall. And so like I'm just honestly glad like because originally like I was just gonna let the landlord just put it back up as like long term rentals, but I was just like, dude, no, like I got people in my program like if I could fucking help them out with this, like, why the fuck not? And I know you guys are gonna do a way better job than me because I live in Indiana now, and I was still bringing in some good money from that, but like my heart wasn't into it just because I'm doing this
Yeah.
now, and like I know since that's more of your guys' full time thing, you guys are just gonna absolutely crush it. Get some more funding to keep scaling. I think you mentioned too, you might be getting a third unit out in like SoCal area as well.
Yep, it's actually happening now. I'm inside of it right now. So
Oh, what?
yeah,
That's
I'm on
sick.
my
Wait,
third. Yeah.
that's good. Wait, do you mind? Are you on your laptop? I'd love to just get little MTV cribs of the spot if you can.
Oh my goodness, it's so messy. So as you know, okay, so this house, for context, is really, really old, and I'm
Uh-huh.
fixing it up. So it was so messed up. This room, I just started fixing. It was
Mm-hmm.
really, really bad before. I'm on my laptop, so it's
Yeah.
kind of hard. I'm going backwards.
You're good.
This is
You're
a
good.
little studio, and then you're gonna die. This, it's so bad. And you're gonna see the before and after because it's gonna be like so good after. I'm gonna make it so cute. So
I'm excited. Hell yeah! You
yeah.
got to post the wins up on the Slack channel once it like
Yes.
definitely get the befores and definitely get the afters. But I'm excited that unit's gonna absolutely rip because it's in like
It
what LA area, right?
it's on Melrose. It's like a 2-minute walk
On
from like
Melrose.
yeah, Melrose. And so this
That's
is a
crazy.
bedroom. This is a bathroom. It's really bad because it's on my laptop. This is another
No, you're
bedroom.
good. You're good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for
So
giving us the little MTV cribs of the spot, Jackie. Dude, I'm so excited for you. Like, this makes me like super proud to see you go from working two jobs to be able to help like offset some of that income and now take from like a full time position of that other online job to part time and now doing this and
yes.
like at the end of the day, like, right? Would you agree like that all kind of started off with just kind of like the funding and like the coaching, right? Just
Exactly. Like, I don't know where I would be right now if that hadn't happened. I'm so grateful for it. I truly don't know where I would
thank
be.
you.
Like, yeah.
Thank you. No, I literally live for that shit, dude. Like when you were telling me, like, oh, I just got my super host stuff. Like, obviously, I'm out here to make money, but like, honestly, like the impact and seeing like the results, like when I flex that shit, like I'm not gonna be flexing the money I make online, but I will flex. Like, yo, I just helped this person get this. Like, it feels
Yeah.
so fucking good, and like that's like the high and fulfillment that I keep chasing. Like to be able to keep getting more of those results and be able to host these type of client interviews that we're having right now. So I'm so stoked for you to keep crushing it. Like 2024 is gonna be a huge year. You got to let me know next time you're going to Brazil because one, I'm gonna get a bunch of your recommendations, and two, I might also be living there towards the end of this year. So we'll have to kick it if for whatever reason you're out there too. So
Oh my goodness, yes. And it has been life-changing. Like, honestly, this whole thing has been life-changing because I wouldn't have been able to travel 3 months, like, out of the country
right.
if no, like, there's no way I would have been able to. And so, yeah, that's amazing. And, like, it's just gonna get better and better, and eventually, like, I'll just be full-time traveling, hopefully. But also,
Hmm.
if you're actually I'll message you after, but
Oh
I'm thinking
yeah.
I'm going back to Brazil at the end of this year as well, and I'm planning on staying for 3 to 6 months this time. So
Oh, okay. That's when I'm planning to go too, because like
no
this
way. Okay.
my fix and flips here out in Indy will be solid. I might keep one of them and just rent them out, and then just go move to like Mexico slash South America. Brazil's definitely on the list, and Colombia because I'm like, all right, well, I got my listings all up. I got my flips done, and just keep doing the coaching full time, and just be able to
That's
keep helping more
amazing.
people like you get to where you're at, working two jobs to be able to start offsetting that out to something that's a little bit more passive and be able to travel. But like that's gonna we got to do another client interview out there, like when we're
Yes.
both out there. That's gonna be sick.
That's
That's gonna
gonna
be
be
dope.
amazing. I see it happening in the future.
Oh yeah,
It's
we're
so
we're gonna
exciting.
manifest that baby. Hell yeah. Well, as far as just kind of like the course material, obviously you've been you and I have been working together for like, well, it was like 2 years ago now, right? Since you started. So like, was it?
I think it's been
Was it 2022? It was maybe like 1 year ago.
1 year and like it was January of it's like a year and a couple months.
Yeah. So yeah, we're obviously have still have a great relationship. So anybody watching this, like, I'm like a big part of like my brand is just like under promise, over deliver. Always want to over deliver. Like I know this shit's not cheap, and I always want to make sure like what I'm offering is gonna outweigh the price. And the number two is just like the relationships. Um, like I genuinely give a shit about you and like all the other faces you've been seeing on like the group coaching call. Sometimes I'm a little bit more invested than they are into the program because I'm the one like calling them like, hey, did you do this? Did you do this? But like you've been so easy to work with, and I want to be able to attract more of those type of clients who are one motivated and have kind of like that warrior mindset where they're like, there's enough pain or enough like desire to like get to the next level wherever they're at. And two, like you were so easily coachable. It was just like here's the course modules. We're gonna hop on some one-on-ones. I'm gonna do some calls, and you're gonna watch. Like I would do like the 3Ds. It's like I would document what you needed to do. I'd demonstrate it, and then you would duplicate, and I'd watch you do it. And those are the type of people I want to work more with, who are just teachable, and then are going to be resourceful, who could like use the course modules, show up to the group calls, ask questions, and come onto the one-on-ones ready to learn and take action. And I'm glad that you were that for me, and I hope people watching this video will be able to, if that resonates with you, and you could do that. Like, I promise I'm going to be able to get you those results. Jackie's a great example of that, and yeah, that's basically it. As far as kind of what's next for you. So you started from one. Now we got just literally got two within the last like just on this call. Where do you kind of see things going? As far as maybe like the next year, the kind of like 5 year plan. What are you trying to manifest?
Um, I think I want to like have more units and
Hmm.
eventually start purchasing them, but I haven't looked into that as much. So I'm I'm right now I'm just working on getting more units and
Hmm.
being able, like I said, to full-time travel. So
Yeah.
I want to be getting those units and um yeah, just keep on getting units. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
And then
Well,
making money while I travel, which is amazing.
yeah. Well, you already got like a taste of it, so now that it's like you got a little taste of it, now it's just like, all right, we're gonna fucking manifest that, make that shit happen. Um, and I think too, just a lot of people, what they think is just like, oh, I want to be able to go travel and start making passive income, but that's definitely not the case. Like, there's levels to this. Like, if you don't have fucking money saved, you need to learn how to get funding. Once you get the funding, okay, cool. Let me invest into learning how to make that money. So kind of like the same steps you took was let me learn the funding. We're gonna invest and learn into Airbnb. Now that we got into Airbnb, now we can get a taste of that lifestyle of being able to travel. And like you're not meant to, you don't have to stay with the Airbnb stuff forever. Like for me, I did the credit Airbnb, and now I'm doing fix and flips. Like there's so many different levels to it, and that's like this entrepreneurship game that we play. Is just like we're constantly improving ourselves. We also get rewarded by being able to travel, go meet dope people, and whether you decide that Airbnb is the thing you want to do for the rest of your life or anything else, that's what I think is the power of this like community too that we're building out. Is just having guest speakers who are like multi seven figure real estate investors who can drop knowledge and kind of help guide us. And then also, I definitely want you to be working with closely with some of the other students who might be ahead of you, whether it's fix and flips, buy and holds, or even Airbnb. Like we're gonna keep growing this community, and I'm glad you're literally the first seed, and now we have like 15, 20 students in this program at the time of this recording, and I'm excited to keep under promising, over delivering, and build out those relationships. So thank you, Jackie, for being my first student. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I love that, and yeah, thank you. I'm genuinely so grateful, and, like, that's what you're saying about the community is, like, so important because it's true, like, that it's so valuable to have community and people to encourage you and to, like, to look at other people and see, "Oh, they're actually doing it." And also what you're saying about, like, how there's other options, which is, like, also so powerful because, like, you get into this business well, I got into this business for one reason, for the arbitrage and to make passive income, but I
Hmm.
didn't realize that all of the information you learn is so valuable for other things. Like I did my degree in psychology. I had no idea about the finance or the business world at all. And like learning all this information as I go is like so like it's so vital like to know just in life and in the world and there's so many options so many places I can go with it. So and having that
Yeah.
community and all that valuable information, I'm just excited to be a part of it.
Hell yeah. Well, awesome. That'll conclude our client interview. Thanks again, Jackie, and appreciate anybody watching this. You guys have a great day. Bye. Peace. Awesome.
Bye.
So we'll just get it right there. But hell yeah, dude, thank you so much. I feel like that
Yeah,
was
of
very
course.
like smooth conversational. I appreciate you taking the time and yeah, and like I said, I truly like mean that to you. Like thank you for being my first ever like paid client. Like honestly, like I want to like cry right now because it's like literally like
I know.
if I didn't have that like proof of concept, like I probably wouldn't be doing it now. And I'm excited to yeah, I'm excited to keep seeing you grow and like anywhere you need the help, whether it's the credit and Airbnb stuff or I might not know shit. Like I could still connect you with whoever you need. I'm happy to help.
Yeah, you're thanking me, but it's so funny because 'cause I'm like, "Why are you thanking me?" Like, I'm
I
so
don't know,
grateful,
like
like, you, like, literally were so like, if you were you, like I remember you replied to me, like, really quickly, and then were just encouraging from the start, and, like, if it wasn't like that, like, I would not have, like, had the courage to start, so, like, you're thanking
yeah,
me, but I'm like, "No, I'm thanking you, because
yeah.
I don't know,
Well,
I really don't know where I would be, like, that's genuine.